Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to The Division 2. And today, a new event pass has arrived in-game in collaboration with Rainbow Six Siege, much like we had the Payday one last season. If you didn't play back that time, event passes are these limited time apparel events, essentially, where you have a short window to obtain exclusive cosmetics and other rewards on a mini battle pass. Now I did want to let you know off the bat that this event pass launched today. It is going to be here for 2 weeks until October 14th. So if you want to get any of the rewards that we're going to cover in this, be sure to jump in and do it. Now, aside from this being just another seasonal event, which I think many of you have the gist of by now, there have been some major reform and improvements made to the event pass model following its pretty controversial debut last season. So in this video, I want to cover those changes, review that impact in game, as well as offer a quick refresher on how this all works for anybody who wasn't here last time around. Should be a good time. So if you don't want to miss any of my other content on the Division 2 moving forward, then be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Shout out and thank you to our channel members for your ongoing support. Truly, I would not be able to do this so consistently if it were not for your generosity, so thank you. But without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so as mentioned, last season we saw the first ever event pass in the Division 2. That time around it was in collaboration with the Payday franchise, and it was met with very mixed reception. I myself was quite critical of it. It was largely what pushed me to make a video discussing Division 2's monetization as a whole, but to the devs' credit, they apparently heard all of the feedback and they've made some significant changes since the last go-around. Not every single point of feedback was addressed, but here's what they've improved for this season's event. Firstly, as you can see, it says vanity rewards are now fully contained within the event pass, making it easier to see and earn everything in one place. Last time, with Payday, there were rewards split between the Twitch drops, a store bundle, a pass bundle, all of that on top of just the event pass itself. It was very convoluted to try and track them all down. Now everything is simply laid out on the pass itself, so that's awesome. Next, they say progression pace has been improved, with lower XP requirements in the early tiers for easier entry into the event, and higher requirements in the later tiers to increase the challenge. Event Pass XP can be earned from multiple sources, by gaining Season Pass XP and by completing the Rainbow Six project chain. Below that, it clarifies that micro events and other bonuses affecting Season Pass XP do not apply to Event Pass XP. Now, that last part is noteworthy because I've logged on this morning and tested it out just to be sure. The usual 10% multipliers that we get to Season XP from Season Pass ownership and your seasonal modifiers, those actually do not apply here. Now, normally I would say that that's not like a great implementation, but if you're talking about 20 tiers of rewards within 2 weeks to do it, really that shouldn't be that noticeable. I just wanted you all to be aware that those things not counting towards this is intended. As a whole, for this section, I don't have too many thoughts on this, making stuff easier to get into in the beginning, as well as diversifying your XP progression options, I think are positives. If those extended tiers later on that they mention added to the grind a little bit, I wouldn't complain. Again, 20 levels within 2 weeks is quite easy, mostly, but I know not everybody would agree with that. That said, I have already seen reports this morning that people are progressing through this event very quickly. There may be a progression bug involved that are speeding things up, but those are the changes that they've made as far as XP and progression. Alright, and then finally, it says the buy all option has been removed from the track, so rewards are earned tier by tier, keeping progression engaging. No notes, chef's kiss. Last time you had not only the option to buy tier skips, right, but one of the rewards for the Payday event was tied to this buy all bundle, meaning that if you wanted full completion of the event, you were forced to skip over any of what little gameplay incentive there was. So for them to remove that, I think is a very player first and forward thinking change, puts the focus back on the gameplay. It is worth noting that you can still purchase individual tiers once you unlock premium, but that is completely optional, just like the standard season pass. There are no other benefits to doing so, and so in my opinion, that is the ideal setup. Alright, so I wanted to quickly cover all of those changes just for comparison's sake. Now, however, let's jump into the game and look at how this all works out in practice. Alright, so here we are in game, and to begin, I just wanted to reiterate that you can see the status of the Rainbow Six Siege event within your events timeline here. This is in the seasons menu, so if you ever want to check and refer back to how long this event is going to last, you can do so right here. You can see it has 2 weeks left. This is going until October 14th. Within the seasons menu is also where you can then view the event pass itself. If we tab over at the top, you'll see that this is it right here. We've got the exact same setup as last time around, where there are both free items to this as well as paid tiers. So if you don't get premium, you will of course only unlock the free items. Premium gets both. What you'll notice though by looking at this is that you can see those XP differences that they mentioned in the event pass reformation updates. So at the beginning here, these tiers only require 500 of the event pass to get through, whereas once you get later on, it goes all the way up to 2,000. Roughly, I think that should equate to the same general amount of progression, since you're just taking away from the total XP here and putting it down here later on. But yeah, don't be surprised if it feels like your progression is changing as time goes on, because it is. It's going to require more XP to get through these later tiers compared to the beginning. You'll notice that on here there is no buy all bundle option. Again, you can buy past levels if you choose to, but there's no exclusivity tied to that, no rewards that you're not going to get otherwise. And if we go all the way back to the store, there is no bundle, which is great. Last time they had a payday bundle at the same time, meaning you had multiple sources of paid rewards. That is not the case here. Final thing I then wanted to cover is how can we actually progress the event pass? Well, just like usual, it is tied to season XP, except with those minor stipulations that we covered just a moment ago. So if I were to go into invaded DCD right here, then I should get as a reward the amount of seasonal XP that you normally would for completing this activity, but without the included 20% multiplier and bonus that you see there, because again, they clarified that that does not count towards event pass XP. So the same general farming tips that we usually give for season pass progression or stretch goals, for example, are going to work here as well. Stuff like Manhunt Scouts is going to give you a lot. You can see I would get 2,000 event pass XP from doing my scout here. Also, weekly projects are a great source. If we look at like the Descent one, I would get 1,000. And then the usual repeatable source of season pass XP, more so than just inherent completion rewards, is priority objectives. So be sure to be popping these if you want to get that quick progression. The only final thing to mention, I've hopped back to the project page here. They told us within the patch notes and the details for this event that this time around there would be a project chain as well. So as you can see right here, there is a Rainbow Six Siege event pass project. It is a time trial. If you go and complete the Coney Island Ballpark mission within the target time there of 16 minutes and 10 seconds, then not only will you get a high-end weapon and a named item cache, but also 1,000 XP for the event. I believe they said there are 6 of these in total, so just like all other event project chains, there's going to be multiple of these that you can do. You don't have to do them day by day. As they unlock, they will stack up for you to do even the last day of the event if you so choose, but this is just an additional optional way to progress if you want to do it this way. Alright, well, there you have it, my friends. That is an overview of the new Rainbow Six Siege event pass within the Division 2 for Year 7 Season 2. As far as the event itself, looking solid. I'm definitely most anticipating getting the Deimos and Solus fits. Aside from that though, again, I wanted to give credit to the devs for making some of these much needed improvements to the event pass system. Seeking monetization to fund the game's ongoing development is not inherently evil, but it has to be done ethically and in a straightforward manner, and I think this new iteration does that pretty well, at least much better than last time around. Doesn't mean I think they should be done making changes here. I would still personally love to see some kind of perk for existing season pass owners when they then go and buy an optional additional event pass. But those are my thoughts, and at this point I would love to hear all of yours. Of course, on this event itself, what do you think about the Rainbow Six outfits that we've gotten here? But especially on this event pass reformation. Do you think the changes that they made are positive, going in the right direction? What do you think still falls short? What do you think they need to do in the future? Whatever you've got, let me know all of it down below. That is going to do it for me on this one though. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you back soon. RogueGold.